Welcome back. I'm Jason Carey, and together we are walking through Ted Greene's Chord Chemistry. Today we're talking about minor chords. We're covering pages 25 and 26 and 27. If we have the gas left to do it, we're going to continue. We are going to make a big push today. So if you don't have the book yet and you would like to have the book to follow along at your leisure, you can grab the book right here in the link in the card above or a link in the description. So go ahead and grab that book. It's a wonderful thing to do, and I think you're really going to like it if you don't already have it. We're talking about minor chords today in part 9K. Part 9K, okay? All right, let's try it. We're just going to plug right along, and we are talking about minor triads with 1 flat, 3, and 5. And we made it. We're starting with A minor on position number 2 in fret number 3, and we're looking at flat 3, root note, and 5. And then we're using E minor. We're going to head up to position number 9. We're using root, 5, and flat 3. A minor is fret number 5. We've got the root note, the 5, and the flatted 3. E minor is position number 9, fret number 9. So we have the 5, the flat 3, and the root note. Yeah, just beautiful stuff. Again, we're walking through these chord sequences, and so we have the position number 5. We have flat 3, the 1, and the 5. And these chords are just so beautiful. Position number 5, we're back to A minor, root, 5, flat 3. Okay, let's take a look at E minor again in position number 2. So we have fret 2, that's a root note, a 5, and a flat 3. And again, we're right at the bottom of page number 25. Position number 7, we've got a, let's see again, 10, the flat 3, the root note, and the 5. Yes, indeed. Position 5, we're going to the 5, the flat 3, and the root. Yeah, and we're flipping the page. Let's turn the page. Okay, I'm going to mark these off so I don't get lost. I'm going to pull my book a little bit closer. I just wanted to remind you that all we're doing in this series is we're going through the book page by page, word by word, chord by chord, and everything that we're doing, we're breaking down completely as the book. This is only being done as a reference point for you to come back to and look at. So bookmark the areas that you like, make little notes if you'd like to. This is a purely academic approach, and I do offer some other videos to help expand on these concepts if you have additional questions. Position number 4, we have the root note. We're stretching up there with finger 3. We have the root note, the 5, and then the flat 3. Don't forget, we're dealing with minor now, E minor. And then position number 7, we have another really great guitaristic voicing with the root 5 and the flat 3. Position number 5, we go back down to 5, flat 3, 5 in the bass, flat 3, and then root note to make a really nice sounding voicing. And let's go ahead to position number 7. We've got the E minor again. We have a 5, a flat 3, and then a root note. So that's where these are going. They have applications for sure. And we learn these. We just want to go through each one time at least, and then cyclically sequence back and reconnect with them time and again. Position number 7, we have the flat 3, the 1, the 5, which is what I just played down here on the E minor. But we have that beautiful voice and then the flat 3, 1, and 5. E minor, we're going down here with the flat 3 in the bass, and then the 5, and then the root on the top. Okay, A minor, we're using position 5. This is a great guitar voicing. Root note, flat 3, 5. E minor, let's stay right here in position number 5. We have the root note, the flat 3, and then the 1. That's a great coincidence, isn't it? E minor and A minor there. Let's take a look at E minor in position number 7. Let's run up there. We have the 5, the 1, and the flat 3. 5, 1, flat 3. All right, A minor. Let's take a look. Position number 7. We have the double stop again with the first finger, and then we have the 5, the root, and then the flat 3 up top. And then the E minor, we have position number 5. We have the root, flat 3, and then 5. These are so useful. This batch of chords is so useful on the guitar, just like all of the other ones, but these are very common for guitarists. Position number 10, we have the root, the flat 3, and then the 5. I just have to remind myself to pick up arch that third finger, and then don't slip off the fretboard. Reminder number 1, don't slip off the fretboard, because that doesn't sound very good in the recording, unless it's intended, of course. Fret 3 is A minor, third position. We have the flatted 3, the 5, and the root note. Very cool sound. A minor again. This is a really nice voicing because it's got a root note, a 5, and a flatted 3 on the top. Lots of space using. We're starting to use a lot of space here. And then we have the 5, the flat 3, and then the root note. Wow. Just a really beautiful voicing. Angelic indeed. Position number 8. Let's take a look at this one. This is far out. We've got a flat 3. Let's see, a flat 3, a root, and then a 5. And then before this, we had an E minor with a 5, flat 3, and then a root. Really great transitions, chord transitions, to just be aware of. E minor, position number 7. We have the 5, the root, and then the flat 3. All right, E minor again in position number 7. We have the root, flat 3, and 5. So what we've done here is we're basically moving things around, shuffling the notes around, which is okay. A minor 7 is position number 7. We have, still on page 26 now, third line down, 5, root, flat 3. Position number 8, check this one out. We have the 5, the root, flat 3. Just another way to voice the chord. E minor is position number 9. Let's take a look at this. We have the root inversion triad, 1, flat 3, 5. Nice and easy. Thank you, Mr. Greene. Then we have the next inversion of that, and the next string grouping up, and we're continuing up to position 8 with, okay, so we have the root, flat 3, 5. We have the flat 3, 5 root, and then we have the 5 root, flat 3. Next one is position number 7. We have the flat 3, 5 root, then the 5 root, flat 3, then the root, flat 3, 5, and then the flat 3, 5 root. And then we're moving on up to the E minor again in position number 7, which is root, flat 3, 5. E minor on position number 5, we have a 5, root, flat 3. Position number 9, let's take a look at root, flat 3, 5. And position 4 for E minor, we're using flat 3, 5, Position 3, we have the 5, root, flat 3. And by playing these chord shapes across the string set, we start to understand and appreciate different timbre and textures and timbre. So we have A minor on position number 7. There's a 5, a flat 3, and a root. Position 5 is going to give us 5, the flat 3, the root, and the 5, A minor. A minor with the 5th position, root 5, and then flat 3 way on the top there. So power chord on the bottom, flat 3 on the top. Fret position 2, we're using the flat 3, the root, the 5, and then the root on the top. So we're starting to get interested in these circly tones here, which as we've talked about before in the series, those circled tones are optional. But if we read through this, this will be the 1, or the flat 3, the 5, the 1, the 5, and the 1. Good. Not sure my guitar is quite in tune. Let's check that in a second. Position number 7, we're using flat 3, 5, 1, 5, and the 1 again. Good. E minor is position number 3. Let's take a look at flat 3, an octave, 5, and then root note on the top. A minor, we'll use the first, it's like the first chord in Stairway to Heaven, isn't it? It's the root, flat 3, 5, 7, root note on the top. We could use the full, he's indicating that we could use the full bar chord here, the E minor position bar chord, but played on 5th position, root 6, which indicates an A minor chord. Okay, same thing here, A minor position bar chord, but on position 7, thus producing an E minor chord. So we have the root. If we don't use any of the circle tones, we have the root followed by a root, an octave higher, flat 3, and then a 5. Let's take a look at position 9. This is great. Flat 3, root, 5, root, and 5 on the top. So we're starting to look at and observe doubled tones, which really creates a different environment for these chord shapes. Position 7, we have the 5, the flat 3, the 5, and then the root. Those shapes give us all kinds of new additional inspirations. Let's take a look at position number 9. We have the root, the flat 3, the root, flat 3, 5, and then the root. The 5, A minor, position 9. We have the root, the 5, the flat 3, the 5, and the root. And A minor, we're looking at the 3 in the bass, the flatted 3rd in the bass, then the flatted 3rd, we have the flat 3 again, octave higher, the 5, and the root note. All right, fret 5, we're using A minor. We have the root note. The flat 3. The flat 3, the flat 3, the flat 3, the 5, and the root note. If we played it down here, it'd be a major 6, right? So we have this really nice A minor shape with the flat 3 in the bass. Let's take a look at this E minor on position number 9, shall we? We have the root, the flat 3, the 5, and then the root again on the top. And we're just going to keep hammering through these shapes. So I'm really glad if you're with me. If you feel like you need to take a break, go right ahead, push pause, and get up, move around, do some stretches if you like. So root, flat 3, 5, flat 3. I'm just going to continue right along though, if you don't mind. E minor is the position 7. We have the root 5, another guitaristic voice, root doubled with flat 3 on the top. E minor, again, we have the position 9. We're going to reach back down to the root note with the second finger, the 5, the flat 3, and the 5. Yeah, really nice, dark sounding voicing. And again on position 9, we have the root, the 5, and then the root, the flat 3, and then the 5 for the A minor. Good. And then back to A minor, which is going to be 5, root, flat 3, 1. Okay. E minor, position number 9, we have the 5, flat 3, 5, and then root note. There it is. And then position number 9, there's a root, flat 3, 5. But let's take a look at fingers 3, 2, and 1, and then 4. So root, flat 3, 5, and then flat 3 on the top for the E minor. You could actually make that a 9, and add E minor, add 9, or just E minor. All right, A minor, let's go back to position 7 just for a moment. We have the flat 3, the 5, the 1, and then the 5 again on the top. We can ornament those any way we'd like. Position number 5, let's take a look at 5, flat 3, root 5. Working hard here to get these things delivered correctly. Position number 5, we're looking at, again, root note, not root note, but the 5th, the flat 3, and then we're stretching up to the root and 3 on the top, flat 3 on the top. So we've got a really beautiful voicing here that we are now familiar with. Next one is A minor on position number 7. We're using just the root, 5, flat 3, root 5, root, flat 3. I'm just thinking this is the D minor, basically, the D minor position bar chord, isn't it? Position number 5, let's look at flat 3, root, 5, and then flat 3 on the top. I'm thinking A in the root note as the root note. E minor is position 8. Let's go back and take another look. We have the root. Oh, wow, this one's going to be a lot of fun. Right, so we're asking the finger to use fret the 5. Let's do the root. I'm sorry, the 5, the 5. I'm sorry, the root, the 5. This is an E minor chord now. Root, 5, flat 3, and then root on the top. This is a great voicing. And then A minor is root 5, root, flat 3. On position number 5. Let's continue on and let's stay right here in position 5 and just take the upper part of that same voicing. So we're looking at 5, root, flat 3, 5. Let's take a look at this one again. Position 5, we have a root. We can use the octave, the flat 3, and the 5. And A minor, let's just take another look while we're here in fret 5 and while it's literally the next chord on the page. Root note, flat 3, 5, and root note. Or you could just use a full capo for that. Right. So let's take a look at A minor in position number 8. Flat 3, 5, root, flat 3. And if you want, you can wind that 4th finger way up there. Go ahead and wing it up there, you know. Yeah. All right, I know those are fun sometimes, those little kung fu sound effects. So we've got the flat 3, the 5, and the 1, and the 5. Position number 9, E minor. A minor, let's take a look at that again. Position number 8, one more time. We've got the flat 3, 5, root, and then 5 on the top. What a great, surprisingly great and simple voicing though. A minor, position 5, we have the root, 5, flat 3. we could use, we could use these optional notes on the top if we'd like, or we could just use the root 5 flat 3. Position 5 for the E minor, we're going to place the 5, the root, the flat 3, and then the root in that order. And then let's go ahead and take a look at number 3, position 3, flat 3, 5, root, and flat 3. A minor is position 5. Again, we have root 5, 5, flat 3. Yeah, and then we have an A minor. Again, we have it almost feels like I'm going to play A minor 7, but it's the 5, the root, the 5, and the flat 3. E minor is going to be position number 3 in this next case. We have a really cool stretch. This is one of my favorites. We have the flat 3, the flat 3, the octave, or the E, the root note, and then the 5th. Really great, sort of, really just a beautiful sound, a beautiful sonority. Position 7, let's take a look at this one. We've got this nice 5, flat 3, root, and 5 on the top. So we're using a very nice sequence of 2 string skips here. E minor is going to be position 9. Let's take a look at root 5, and then, let's try it like this. Root 5, flat 3, and then root on the top. Yeah, all right, we're loving it. Loving it. So we got the 5, position 5 for A minor is 5, root, flat 3, root. And let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's just take a quick look at the 5, the root, wow, what are we doing? So 5 root, skip the G string. Let's get up to the root note on the B string, and then the flat 3 on the high E string. So we're skipping over the G, and then the flat 3 on the top. What a solid voicing. 7 position again, we're using flat 3 root, 5, and this is a very nice guitaristic voicing. One of my personal favorites, and the personal favorites of many. Oh, look at this, check this out. We have I just played that incorrectly, but I was playing one of my favorite voicings. This is the flat 3 in position 5 for A minor. Flat 3 root, flat 3, 5. And we're approaching the stretch of page 26 with the E minor. We have 5 root, flat 3. Position number 8. Let's take a look at 8. What's up at 8 here? We have the 5 root, flat 3, and then the root way up here. Nice great little stretch. Let's take a look at E minor. So position 7, this is just the top half of the guitaristic voicing, 5, root, flat, 3, 5. Then we have the 5, same position for E minor, 5 in the bass, flat, 3, root, flat, 3. 5, flat, 3, root, flat, 3. And now we're going to just jump on over to position or fret, page number 27. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Let's take a look. Why don't we jump? We're on page 27. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to encourage you to stretch a little bit. I'm not going to do it, but if you want to pause the video and do that, go right ahead. Position number 5, E minor, we have the flat 3. And then we're headed up to the root, flat 3, 5. Next, we're on position 5 again. Root, flat 3, 5. Next, we're shuffling our step up to position number 9. We have 1, 3, 5, 1 flat 3, 5, sorry, and then flat 3, 5 on the top. You can use the optional high E string if you'd like. Let's take a look at position 9 for this beautiful and simple A minor. So we have the root, flat 3, 5, and then root. Root, flat 3, 5, and root. E minor is going to be position number 7. We have the flat 3, root, flat 3, 5. And then A minor is 5 in the bass on position 5, flat 3, 5, 1. And then position number 7 for the A minor, we have the flat 3, 1, 5, flat 3 on the top. Wonderfully, wonderfully voiced chord here. A minor, position number 8, so I'm thinking that this is root, flat 3, root, flat 3, 5, and then flat 3 on the top. E minor, again, 1, 5, 1, oh, 5, 5, 1, flat 3, position 7. A minor, let's take a look at this, position number 7. This is kind of cool. All right, so we have the 5, the flat 3, the 5, and then the flat, the root, flat 3. 5, flat 3, root, flat 3. E minor, let's take position 4, and let's take a moment with root, flat 3, 5, and then 5 on the top. Position 2 for A minor, root, flat 3, 5. And if you wanted to, you could put the 5 and the root on the top. Position 9, we have the flat 3 in the bass, the root, the 5, the root, and then the root note on the top. Or you could use the flatted 7. You could use all kinds of options here, folks. It's just and guitar friends. Position number 7, we have flat 3, 5, root, and then root note again. Here's the next voicing, one of my favorites. You know, we've got the position 5, we have the flat 3, root, 5, and then 5 on the top. E minor, position number 7, we have the flat 3, 5, root, 5 on the top. Same thing we did with A minor just previous to this. E minor, let's take a look at position number 8, root, flat 3, 5, root, flat 3, 5, and then flat 3 on the top. Very nice shape. And position 5, we have the 5 for E minor, the root, the flat 3, and the root note on the top. A minor, let's take a look. Power chord on the top, on the bottom, just blocked right out like we're playing Sabbath. Or, you know, Warren or the Winger tunes or Beastie Boys or whatever, you know. We get the root, 5 root, and then Cinderella, we get that flat 3 on the top. You know, to make it a minor, very nice minor voicing. E minor, we have this nice 5th position. So we have the 5, the root, flat 3, 5 on the top. Yeah. All right. Last 4 voicings coming up here. So let's do these last 4 together and be very closely listening and absorbing these shapes, okay? Just to make a solid finish, a sprint finish. Position number 7, we have the flat 3, the root. I'm sorry, it's not the root, is it? It's flat 3, 5, root, and flat 3 on the top. A minor. E minor, let's take a look at 5 in the bass, flat 3, and then we take a look at flat 3, 5, and root note on the top. Wonderful voicing. Same position, E minor, root, flat 3, root, and then root. A minor, position 7, same position, fret, we end up playing the flat 3 in the bass, the 1, the 5, and then the 5 up top. Okay. So that's what voicings like these are bringing out of me today. So I'm so glad you're here. That's the last of the minor shapes, and we finished up with page 27. Again, if you don't have the book yet and you would like it, go ahead and grab it here in the link in the card or the link in the description below. And I am so thrilled that you were here with me. We're doing a supplement to this with a morning live stream every weekday, 5 days a week from 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every morning right here on Jason Carey Guitar, there's a live stream that you can jump on and join. It covers breath work, it covers tuning, and it covers the mechanical process of warming up. So we're actually warming up together. It's free right now and will remain free for the remainder of 2025. This is a really big deal for some of us, certainly a big deal for me. I hope to see you there, and let's see if there's something. I'm also starting another an augmented or a complementary series to augment this series by expanding and applying some of Mr. Greene's chord shapes, to practical applications. So what we're going to do is start seeing those show up. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to call that series yet, but we are connecting those chords that are still out there in the ether for us, and we're bringing them together. So keep an eye out for those sessions too. I really appreciate you being here, and I really appreciate the wonderful comments that we are getting, and I hope to see you again next time. Thanks for watching today, and I want to encourage you to continue on with a beautiful day. And until we meet again, happy picking.